Good afternoon, everybody out there, friends, family, and people I don't know and hope to know soon. Shooting you another video today regarding a very controversial topic that I want to dive deeper into today to kind of give some insight and thoughts and kind of encouraging words to help anybody with this topic. The topic is depression and anxiety. I'm going to be going over 5 key points that can help make you realize different views on it and kind of see it from a different side than you probably have before. As you probably know, depression and anxiety tend to be some of those tougher subjects within our church nowadays, kind of harder to get into and tackle from a Christian perspective. Now, it's not just complicated because the illness themselves are so complex and multi, personalities and multi sections within each topic and mental illness, but also because our church and our culture has kind of put an image on mental illness, and from a Christian perspective we need to have clear eyes on it to be able to help those in need around us and not around us. Now, this topic isn't meant to make the church look bad in any way. It's more so about the incorrect beliefs about mental illness that are pervasive throughout our culture and our churches, and kind of inform anybody who may not be aware of certain things. Now, the first topic I want to get on within depression isn't what the church sometimes makes it out to be. And what I mean by that is, it's not a character defect, it's not a spiritual disorder or an emotional dysfunction, where I do personally believe that it can be a spiritual battle that brings you down. But when you are clinically depressed, it's not a matter of choosing. It's not a matter of how hard you can fight it. Yes, God brings comfort and peace, but when you have an imbalance in your brain, there's sometimes a need for medication, psychiatry, biblical counseling to get you through that. Okay? Now, asking someone to try not to be depressed is it's like asking someone who has been shot to stop bleeding. It's just not going to happen. It's something that they have to deal with. It's like if we broke our bone, we would be told, go to the hospital, get an x-ray, get that brace on it, whatever you need, get your cast on, keep it on for 3 months. It's the same thing with a mental illness. Not just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. It's still there, and it needs to be looked after, it needs to be cared for, and we need to figure out how to love those within the church that are dealing with these issues. Okay? Speaking of the invisible, some faith traditions are quick to suggest, like I said, a spiritual battle, whether that's a demonic attack at the cause for depression. While I am personally convinced that there's definitely a spiritual element, the enemy will exploit any weakness. Medical science holds that major depressive disorder is real, and the causes are manifested through numerous reasons. Whether it's you get a concussion, that alters the brain patterns, where I've personally had concussions, and you don't become the same person you once were, and that's where you have to work through it within your biblical counselor, your family, your friends, the church. And when the church is not supportive and thinks it's just a demonic oppression, or you're not reading this verse enough, or following this practice enough, it can send people into a darker depression that we need to be aware of. Okay, that's it for part 1. I'm going to make another part 2 and probably part 3. Be back in a minute.